Greeting audience, my name is Wenting Sun, a graduate student from the Department of Human Development and Family Science at the University of Missouri. Thank you for your time and attention. And thanks to the Journal of Marriage and Family Review and Dr. James to provide such a precious opportunity for me to present my work, which is the State of Family Report for Heilongjiang, China. Families are the basic units of society, and their well-being is essential for the overall development of a community or nation. Understanding the general situation in a province, like our focus on Heilongjiang today, help us appreciate the unique challenges and strengths each region brings to the broader tapestry of our society. Today, in our family report presentation, we will explore the provincial overview, shedding light on the key aspect that defines the family dynamics and social condition in Heilongjiang. Through this, we aim to provide a comprehensive understanding of how families in these provinces contribute to and are affected by the wider societal context. The family report provides an overview of family life in Heilongjiang, and the data for the report was using open sources information, such as the National Bureau of Statistics of China and Heilongjiang, and published research articles. Before we start, I would like to briefly introduce my background and explain why I wrote this report. I'm currently a third-year doctoral student at the University of Missouri. My academic journey has taken me abroad for the past 8 years. Being a former student athlete and a graduate student, allowing me to interact with individuals from diverse cultures and countries. This journey has been an eye-opener for me, not only in understanding different cultural nuances, but also in recognizing the diversity within a single country like China, where cultural differences across provinces are quite profound. My realization of these differences has deepened through my fellowship within the Journal of Marriage and Family Review. During this fellowship, I've encountered various concepts of family and marriage across different research articles that are explained and understood in unique ways across different countries related to specific contexts. Excuse me. As a resident in the province myself, my family structure changed a lot in the last 2 decades. When I was born in 1997, all my family members live in the same neighborhood and everybody is living in the same part, which is like 5 minutes walking away from each other. And my grandparents often invite their 5 kids and families to the house to spend the weekends and holidays. However, gradually some family members start moving out to another cities and even another provinces that are really far away from home. After 2 decades, I'm now all growing up. But for my family, from a really big family size that everyone lives together in the same neighborhood, to now each family unit lives apart all around China. It is pretty tough to keep the old family tradition that we used to practice before, and we barely see each other every single year. So why it changed? That was my curiosity and motivation to write this report. Now let's dive into the details together. I thought many of you may not heard of Heilongjiang, so let's start with a brief introduction about the province. Heilongjiang is the northernmost province in China, covering an area of 454,000 square kilometers and home to about 31 million people. Its capital city is Harbin, and as you can see on the map, due to its location, we often report it as the head of the chicken, which is pretty funny. And to help you remember this province after this presentation, it is also known as the coldest province in China. with a snow season that lasts for 6 months. And even though it experienced 4 seasons, we have a pretty long winter seasons in Heilongjiang. Temperature can drop to as low as -30 degrees Celsius. So we often stay in the house and reduce outdoor activities during winter because it is so cold. But everything has pros and cons. Because of this extreme weather, Heilongjiang hosts the famous Harbin Ice Festival every single year, showcasing beautiful and grand ice sculptures that attract millions of tourists from around the world. Now, as you have a little knowledge about the province and know its characteristics, we will go back to our agenda today. We will first go through the provincial overview and then discuss the cultural diversity in Heilongjiang. Lastly, we will discuss the challenges that families in Heilongjiang are facing right now and what we can do as a family scholars. According to the Heilongjiang Statistical Yearbook, Heilongjiang has a total of 28 million households with approximately 13 million families. On average, families in Heilongjiang are smaller than the national average, with an average of family size of 2.22 compared to the national average of 2.76. So in general, families has only one child. And in terms of education, the average years of schooling for people in Heilongjiang are similar to the national average, which is 9.91 years compared to 9.93 years. That is a pretty good news, which means people there are emphasizing education. However, the divorce rate in Heilongjiang has consistently been higher than the national average. For example, in 2020, the divorce rate was 3.5 per thousand people, compared to the national rate of 3.09 per thousand people. And it is very important to note that the divorce rate in Heilongjiang has been above the national average since 2010. We will later discuss how the context of the province has influenced this higher divorce rate. Additionally, single-parent household has become increasingly common in Heilongjiang, which is related to the higher divorce rate. And that says the family structures in Heilongjiang are more diverse with the divorce rate. Compared to several provinces in China, Heilongjiang is not very diverse regarding ethnicity. There are 95% of people identifying them as Han, which is the leading ethnic group in China, with only 5% of them identifying them as from ethnic minority groups. And the leading ethnic minority groups are Manchuria, Korea, and Mongolia in Heilongjiang. But even though there are only 5%, it is 2 million people we are talking about. When discussing religions in Heilongjiang, folk religions are predominant compared to other religions, such as Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam. Folk religions are typically polytheistic and involves the worship of natural elements and ancestors, including animals, plants, and various deities, reflecting a deep connection to nature. Interestingly, people from minority groups in Heilongjiang are more likely to practice these folk religions compared to those from predominant ethnic groups. Ethnic groups like Manchu and Oranchun often hold grand ceremonies that include sacrifices and ritual, characterized by specific chants and procedures unique to their cultural heritage. And during the ceremony, they will invite people from other ethnic groups and celebrate the event together, which is pretty fun. So far, we have discussed the general characteristic of Heilongjiang, and now it is the time to move on and discuss the challenges that families in Heilongjiang are facing right now. In the last few decades, Heilongjiang has undergone significant changes in areas such as its economic and urbanization. In the 1950s, Heilongjiang was well known for its heavy industry, and it was one of China's leading provinces economically. However, since the 1990s, as the nation shifted from heavy industry to electronic and high-tech industry, Heilongjiang's economic emphasis also changed and experienced a pretty hard time economically. The level of urbanization in Heilongjiang has consistently been higher than the national average, particularly in 1990s. With the introduction of a market economic and the adjustment of industry structures, the urbanization process accelerated significantly. However, this shift in industrial structure led to limited job opportunities and a higher unemployment rate, which indirectly forcing people to seek opportunity outside of the provinces. And that means all the main resources are focusing on the bigger cities like Harbin, which is the capital of Heilongjiang, left limited resources to rural area or the small cities. And these include my own family members who moved to another provinces and searching for better job opportunities and starting their life there. This rapid urbanization has contributed to a phenomenon known as urban shrinkage, which is commonly defined as the significant and sustained decline in a city's population. As you can see from the data on the right, because there are fewer resources available to rural families and their incomes are much lower, which is only half compared to the income earned by urban families per year. As a result, Heilongjiang experienced a significant population loss with about 6 million fewer people compared to 2010. Additionally, there is an article that discusses the positive association between urban shrinkage and divorce rate in Germany and the USA. If you are interested in, you can check it out later. It's like we can apply it back to this phenomenon in Heilongjiang and explain the higher divorce rate compared to the national average. It also discussed the similar transformation pattern and local strategy that policymakers use to deal with such phenomena. As many young people migrate out of Heilongjiang, the province has seen a significant increase in its aging population, which grew from 8.5% in 2011 to 16.8% in 2021. Concurrently, the natural growth rate has decreased to negative 0.511, which is a pretty concerned figure resulting from a higher death rate and a lower birth rate. And I just came back to Heilongjiang a few days ago and visit some small cities and rural area. Unfortunately, I saw a lot of elder peoples living alone at that area and barely see young peoples or newborns in the community, which is a pretty sad story or picture to see. Heilongjiang also has a high incidency of a cardiovascular disease among elders, largely due to its unique climate and weather. This demographic shift necessitates increased healthcare services and efforts for families to provide daily cares for the elders, especially for adults who take care of elder parents while having little ones at home, which refers to the sandwich family. However, the province's ratio of doctors and nurses per thousand people falls below the national standards, indicating a shortage of medical resources and an inability to meet the population's healthcare needs adequately. In the education sector, especially in rural area, there is a notable shortage of teachers and limited educational resources. Low salaries and poor working conditions drive many young teachers to seek employment in other provinces. And in rural area, there are limited educational resources like public gym and a track or football, volleyball, etc. It means students from these areas are less likely to receive higher education and attending university later after graduating from high school. For students who do not attend university, vocational training programs are also limited in Heilongjiang, which posing additional challenges for these students to explore their potential and knowing who they are and develop into successful adults. Throughout this presentation, we have dived into the distinctive characteristics of family in Heilongjiang. We have discussed the prevalency of single-child family, noting how this demographic trend shapes family dynamics and social structure. Additionally, we explore the significant role of folk religion among minority groups, how their daily life looks like, how they interact with people, and contracting with the religious practice of the predominant ethnic population. A notable aspect we have examined or discussed is the stark contrast in resources between urban and rural areas. This disparity poses considerable challenges, impacting family incomes, access to healthcare, and educational opportunities. As highlighted, Heilongjiang faces critical issues such as an aging population and population loss, exacerbated by limited healthcare resources and a shortage of teachers in rural schools. As family scholars and policymakers, these challenges promote us to consider proactive strategies. How can we address the imbalance in family incomes? What initiative can enhance healthcare and educational resources to support family across Heilongjiang? These are questions that require collaborative efforts and innovative solutions. In the Q&A section, I look forward to discussing potential pathways and hearing your insights on how we can better support families in provinces like Heilongjiang. Before ending the presentation, I would like to share a little bit more about the Harbin Ice and Snow Festival. And as one of the most celebrating events in the province, in 2022, this festival drew 3.05 million visitors during only 3 days of New Year holidays, which is pretty awesome, and generating an impressive of $800 million in tourist revenue. These numbers exceed pre-COVID figures from 2019, which highlighting the festival's growing popularities, largely thanks to the organization of provinces' bureaus of culture and tourism, and people's warm hospitality and the welcome spirit of our people. The festival provides an economic boost, with local business thriving due to the increased number of tourists. This growth benefits everyone, from hotel owners and restaurant staffs or to small shop vendors. The additional income helps many families improve their standards of living and provides financial stabilities. Over the year, there were about 220 million domestic and foreign tourists visit Heilongjiang and brought over $30 billion tourism revenues, which is triple increase compared to 2021. As what I heard personally and across social media, Our community takes the pride in welcoming visitors from around the world. The collaborative effort of our residents in organizing and performing at various events show our rich cultural heritage. This sense of community pride and engagement is apparent, making every visitor feel like a part of our extended family. Educational opportunity abound as well. Not only tourists, the younger resident has the chance to learn about the ice and snow art, traditional crafts, and ethnic minority cultures, and the winter sports. These experiences not only enrich their knowledge, but also spark creativities and curiosities in the next generation. It's heartening to hear and see young people inspired by our traditions and considering career in the province instead of going somewhere else after they grow up. Moreover, the festival has led to significant improvement in our local infrastructure, such as better roads, enhanced public transportation, and upgraded public facility, making daily life more convenient for everyone. And the excitement and joy the festival brings each year create a festive atmosphere that we eagerly anticipate. As someone who was born in Heilongjiang, I'm very proud of these positive changes in our province. While the Harbin Ice and Snow Festival is a major attraction, it is the genuine hospitality of our government and people that truly sets us apart. This combination of economic growth, cultural pride, educational opportunity, and infrastructural improvements may make Heilongjiang a wonderful place for family to live and visit. It is my hope and a lot of people's hope that the remaining challenges can be resolved someday soon and families are getting the support they needed. Thank you again for your attention, and I look forward to our discussion in the Q&A section. The first section will be hosted in July 12th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and the second will be hosted in July 15th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have more questions, you are welcome to email me directly by the email address attached above. Thanks again, and please also following us on social media to get more updates on the Journal of Marriage and Family Review. Thank you and have a good day.